What's up guys, this is Young Shot here, back with another video today, and here to give you guys NBA talk once again. If you didn't see my previous video, I did one with Russell Westbrook and his outstanding performance so far with his triple-double, so make sure you check that out. I also have one with the Houston Rockets and DeMarcus Cousins, let's just say off-court problems. But let's get into this one. This one is another one, NBA talks with Blake Griffin and the Los Angeles Clippers, CP3 and the Los Angeles Clippers, whatever you want to call them. And to honestly think, I thought this is the year that the Clippers really need a title. Again, CP3 on his last year of his contract, Blake Griffin on his last year of his contract, and it's just looking like you know, they started off red hot, looking like they're about to be, you know, an actual title contender, and now they're just slowing down in pace. And not only to put insult to injury, Blake Griffin's out for 3 to 6 weeks now. 3 to 6 weeks may sound long, but it's not really. He had to clean up some knee surgery. Basically, he had knee surgery, so he had to clean up the excess mess. It was bruising, was getting more swollen as the days go by. He had that surgery about a year ago, before the incident with his hand where he punched the staffer in the face. But besides that, Blake Griffin is going to be out 3 to 6 weeks. So now the team rests on Chris Paul. Again, as I said, this team has played without Blake Griffin, and it has played without CP3 for a long period of time, and still made it to the playoffs. So it's not a problem. They have a good depth as far as bench goes. I feel like they can automatically help right away, and the Clippers should be fine. However, that doesn't stick the fact of how they gotten off to such a great start, and then like play so badly defensively, play so badly offensively at times, that it's just not working out for them. Like against the Brooklyn Nets, they had a lead, lost it again, and then had to depend on the heroics of CP3, and they still lose the game off of Son Kilpatrick, who could not be holed and have 40 points. This is just earlier in the season. Now, last game, when they had a face-off against Washington, Bradley Beal put up 40, which was incredible in my stand, because I never thought that Bradley Beal will go off, or I would think John Wall will go off, because he's really the only person besides him, and Beal is the only person that's really been doing anything for that Washington Wizards team in the first place. But it's just incredible that this team got off to a really hot start and just cannot dial it up now. And it always seems like they go through their phases. They always start off quick, and then they just end, or just flatline at the end of the season or in the middle of the season, and then going into the end of the season they pick it up again, and then playoffs do the same thing and just flatline. Somebody gets injured, something. It's always something. I feel like it's a curse, but then again, they have make it to the playoffs, and the Clippers are fortunate in making the playoffs. I think this is their golden years again, but it ain't golden if you're not making it to the conference finals, at least to the conference finals or the finals at least. So they got some improvement to do. Hopefully they will do it. Now let's check into the lineups and see what's been the problem so far, and what's the reason why the Clippers have been playing, or at least was playing really good, and then it turned out to be bad. So Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Luka Bamute, Chris Paul, and JJ Redick combined out of the lineups, the offensive rating and defensive rating is one of the top in the league. There's a reason why they're 8th in the league in defense, but we're still wondering why this team has its lapses. Well, one of them is because they're heated most of the time. Just based off just watching the real game, they take off their focus, it seems, when they get a bad call against them. Doc Rivers already had to get 2 ejections already this season, showing his hot temper against, again, 1 against the Nets, and then 2 highlight against the Wizards before the game ended. Because they're one of the teams that cry a lot for calls, it seems, and they just don't pay attention usually for things. Now another thing is also one of their lineups that has Jamal Crawford, Raymond Felton, which doesn't get, or is probably, one, two, three, four, five, fifth lineup, most played lineup, and mostly the bench lineup. They're 5-4 when they play this lineup. They have 130 defensive rating, which is so bad. That is just terrible, so terrible that I don't even know what else to say about that. It's just terrible. Holy shit. But another lineup that really kills and do well, which I'm surprised they don't play more, is pretty much when Chris Paul's out of the lineup. They have Raymond Felton, Jamal Crawford, Paul Pierce, and Blake Griffin. Jamal Crawford, Raymond Felton, Blake Griffin, Austin Rivers, and Maurice Bates out there, and they play really well together. I don't understand why that lineup is not out there more than that other lineup. Again, I understand Blake and Chris Paul play with each other and play better with each other, but then again, you could explore some way where Blake Griffin plays with that lineup and plays good, because their defensive rating is really high. I think it's the highest out of the group out of so far from what I'm seeing. That gets the most minutes, at least. I'm looking at the things that at least get 30 minutes a game. Jamal Crawford, Blake Griffin, DeAndre, Luka Baumute, and Chris Paul have a way better offensive rating when they're on the floor. And this is pretty much just saying JJ Redick is a subpar defender, not the best defender, but he's a good team defender. But again, not the best defender. And Jamal Crawford, again, subpar, but he will do his job at least to a T, just like JJ Redick. And it seems like they play better with Redick off the pretty much off the bench. So Jamal Crawford is pretty much the guy that, you know, carries the offense, basically with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. And you also got DeAndre Jordan and Luka Baumute. I'm surprised that lineup doesn't get played a lot as well, but then again, they like something JJ, so I understand why. And plus, this lineup doesn't really get a lot of minutes. They only play 31 minutes. So there you go with the lineups and the offensive and the defensive ratings for the Los Angeles Clippers. So as you can see here, Blake Griffin's injury is really affecting him. Being out 3 to 6 weeks, he had to remove bodily fluids, like I said, through his article, and it's really affecting him again. The Clippers gonna have to find a way how to put lineups. So here's one of my suggestions. I don't know if they're gonna actually follow it or not. Again, I'm just a YouTuber, and they're probably not even gonna look at this. But one of the suggestions is put Richard Baumute at the power forward, and then basically move up Paul Pierce, a veteran, a savvy veteran that knows how to play, into the small forward. That Wesley Johnson could also play the 3. He's not a bad 3. Pretty much that can come and start and basically play defense. And again, they have a lot of depth to try new things and try to see what they can do with the team. So yeah, that's some of my suggestions. You can also bring Maurice Bates, but I think he's the backup center, so that's one thing. You also got Brandon Bass off the bench. You always can try him. He got a decent mid-range shot, and he's always aggressive under the rim. But my suggestions right now is Luka Baumute and Wesley Johnson, and have Paul Pierce still come off the bench or anything. And you still also got, I think, Johnson. I don't know if he's still hurt, but I think you got Johnson, Spates, and Brandon Bass, or Paul Pierce at the 4. Again, however Doc Rivers want to deliver it, that's up to him. And it's been working throughout the past 2 years. When Blake Griffin did sit out with quad and that hand injury that he had last year. So let's see how Doc Rivers is going to do it. He's a great head coach, so I already know how this is probably going to work out. Clippers should be winning games still, but I also feel like they should still be losing games. As you can see there at the article as well, Clippers dropped the last 10 games out of 12 games, which is incredible in my eyes. They said they dropped 10 games. Wait, no, my fault, guys. They dropped the last 5-6 games out of the last 12, which is pretty much half the games they lost. Right now they hold a 20-8 record, so let's see what they do from here, and let's see how they run their lineup without Blake Griffin. So that's about it. I'm gonna call it a video here. Thanks guys for listening in. This is Young Shot, and tune in. Last reminder, tune in to my last video on Russell Westbrook Goatbrook. It's a very funny video, and also it provides in-depth opinion about Russell Westbrook and what he should do, and also just basically his numbers is just crazy. So make sure to tune in. This is Young Shot. I'm out. Peace.